What's up, guys? It's me. I'm back with another video with my sister.
Hey there.
So, she goes to UBC, I go to UofT now. So we're like 5 hours apart from each other, flight. So I've come to visit her for reading week, and we decided, since everyone's applying to universities now, we're gonna do a video on like the differences between UBC and UofT to maybe help people decide, or just like help with applications. Anything to help. And those videos on my channel get a lot of views, so that's what we're doing, because I want to get monetized. So we have 5 topics. We have like food/dining hall, rooms, lectures, campus and like getting to class, and then party life, about like all the stuff that's different. And if you guys have questions on anything, comment down below and we can help answer the questions. Anything we don't talk about. Also, you can follow her on Instagram at Nina Malwani. I don't have Instagram anymore.
Follow me.
So if you're watching some of my old videos, a couple people commented like, oh, I can't find your Instagram anymore. I've deleted my Instagram. If you leave a comment saying I've added you on Snap and then add me on Snap, then I'll add you back, but because I don't add back people I don't know. So just comment if you want to add me on Snap and ask questions, just do that then.
So you can like have an actual conversation with her instead of just like going through the comments, you know?
Yes, because that's
So
really
you can do that for
helpful.
me as well on Instagram if you would like.
Because she's a nice person.
I really am.
So,
If you're a cool person, I'll hang out with you when you get here.
Okay, so we're gonna start with food/dining hall. We'll also include like pictures and videos if we have anything that will help. So food/dining hall. Okay, so for University of Toronto, I go to UT St. George. So we have like 7 different colleges. So you apply to a college and they're all kind of different for what you're looking for. Like for example, Victoria College has like a scholarship that they give. They have a lot of scholarships, I'm pretty sure. So they give those to people. And that's why a lot of people apply to Victoria. Trinity's kind of like a cult. So if you want to be in a cult, just join Trinity. New College is, I think, the best one. New College and University College. They both have the best food, so that's what I'm going to talk about. New College, is what I'm in. We have like, they all have different dining plans. So for example, Woodsworth College, you don't have a dining plan. You have to make all your food in your apartment. And then University College is like UBC, where you like have a certain number of dollars on your account and you can go in and buy stuff. But New College, you just buy a meal plan. So for example, the one that comes to like, my parents got me the carte blanche one, so I can just go in whenever I want and eat whatever I want, just tap in and tap out. And then they also have 15 and like 330. So you get 330 meals a semester. That's if you don't think you're going to eat much at all. Like if you have a lot of other options, say you go see your family a lot, then you would do 330. Say you have family on the weekends, then you would do 15, because that's like kind of like 2-3 meals a day. And then if you live here all the time, then you do carte blanche, which is what I'm doing. So that's how my dining hall works.
You have all
This
the
is
money.
for UBC, by the way.
You have all the money loaded onto a student card, your UBC card, and there's 2 types of money on there, which is res dollars and flex dollars. So at the beginning of the year, you get like 1,000 something res dollars, and then I think around 500 flex dollars. So res dollars you use at the dining hall, and then some restaurants on campus like Triple O's, The Point, Mercante, which is a pizza restaurant. There's like a few restaurants on campus that use those. And then the more like well-known ones like Starbucks, Tim Hortons, Bento Sushi, like the more name brands, those usually take flex dollars, and obviously you have a lower amount of those. So you run out of those much quicker. And with the meal plan, you get 25% discount on all dining hall food, and I think a 5% discount on all like outside food.
So now the kind of food that you get in my dining hall, it's basically just like, New College is supposedly the best dining hall on campus. We always have burgers, fries, fried rice, pasta, and then we always have like hot food, which is usually like chicken and potatoes or like Indian food or Chinese food. The Chinese food is not great though. And then we always have pizza, we always have salad, we always have like ham, salami, panini presses, all that stuff. We always have ice cream, we always have cookies, and that's all included. You just tap in once and you eat as much as you want and then you leave. But once you tap in, that's like your meal. And it just tops up every week. So my food's really good. And then University College, I've heard the food is really good as well. I have not heard anyone complain about the food that they have. Yeah. And I worked it out, it's about $8 a meal for a carte blanche.
So for mine, in the dining hall, like it varies a little bit between each dining hall and the 3 first-year res, but not that much. Orchard it's a little bit nicer, but like the slightest bit more expensive. And it doesn't vary much between the 3 dining halls of each first-year res, but I would say Orchard like a little bit nicer. You get like there's an Asian cooking station, and they have like a nicer salad bar, and it's like a lot more busy, so they have a lot more of the stations open. But the food isn't the best. It's like, it's decent. It's probably a lot better than it was before, but it tastes good. Like in the first week, you're like, I love all this food, but then after a while, it gets a little bit boring. There's not much you can do with like flavor wise. There's not many condiments and stuff, but it's all right. And the way like the pricing is for that, it's around like $10 for chicken strips, $5 for fries.
So it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, and then it's like for other meals like Indian food, plates and stuff, that's usually around like $10 to $15 for like a meal.
Yeah.
And then you can get like drinks, all the not cafeterias, all the, what do you call them? Dining halls. At least the Totem one, they don't sell any sugary drinks in the entire dining hall. You have to wait until the late night market is open. So we have that opens at 4 p.m. to 11:30.
Late night.
Huh?
Late night.
Yeah, it's called the late night market, closes at 11:30. But that's just open, and it has like more snacks and more sugary drinks and candy and stuff like that in there. But our dining hall tries to be kind of healthy, so we get pizza as well, but it's not that great, and it's more of like a healthy pizza.
Yeah. Another thing about U of T is, since the campus is downtown, if you don't like the food in your dining hall, it's not expensive to just go off campus, go down to Chinatown. I know there's a place that does like 6 dumplings for $3 Canadian, which is super fucking cheap. Say you want like, I don't know, 12 dumplings, that's $6, and you're like done for the day basically. So it's really easy to get food everywhere else as well. I mean, like, there's food trucks and stuff, but mainly you would just eat in your dining hall.
Okay, so for me, there's a lot of places around campus to eat, because like the first year res aren't that close to like the main part of campus. Well, one is, but not really. So there's places that I recommend are Triple O's, because I'll recommend the places first that take res dollars, which is what you want to be using most of the time. Triple O's is really good for burgers, and they have Triple O Tuesdays, which all original burgers are only like $5. Bento sushi is really good, because they have like rice bowls as well if you don't like actual sushi, because I don't. The Point is really good for like a little fancier meal or brunch or something. Those would be my 3 main recommendations. And then for flex dollars, I would say Blue Chip has really good cookies.
Blue Chip has such good cookies.
Really good cookies. Pie Squared has really good pizza, and you can get a slice for like $2.50. This is all, you can all pay for this on your UBC card. And then there's stuff that I would recommend that's not on your UBC card. There's a basement in University Village that has like a lot of Asian food, Chinese food, Japanese food, and that's really cheap. So it's not on your card, so you have to do pay with cash or debit or credit or something. But you can get like a bowl with rice or fried rice or noodle, and then 2 toppings. So it can be a meat and a meat, or a meat and a veg, or a veg and a veg, and it's only $8. And then if you want an extra topping, it's only an extra $1.50. And that's really good, and it tastes really good, and it's really authentic.
Yeah.
And you can get like
pre-made. We're from Asia, so
yeah.
You know what good Asian food tastes like. This is good.
Yeah, it's
Asian
really
food.
Good. So they have that, and then if you go to like Westbrook Village, which is probably, you can take a bus or walk, and it's probably around 30 minutes from Totem, and then like you probably don't want to walk all the way from the main part of campus, but yeah, it would be around 40 minutes from the Nest walking. And they have like an actual Chinese restaurant called Neptune Kitchen that I really like. It's like, tastes pretty authentic. They have a pizza place there. There's some other good food there, but that's not on UBC card. But it's still like all on campus.
We probably spent like 10 fucking minutes talking about food. So let's move to rooms. So rooms at U of T, I've only been to 3 of the colleges out of 7. So I'm going to talk about those 3. New College, where I am, my room is really big and spacious. It's about double the size of this room. Some of my friends' rooms, they have massive closets. But their rooms aren't as big. So in general, your rooms are pretty decently big. You'll be comfortable. Like, it's not a small room. At New College, University College is really nice as well from what I've seen. I've been to Morrison Hall, and that's really nice. Like, I would say it's the best rooms I've ever seen. And at Trinity College, they're also really big, nice big closets, lighting and stuff. Like, the rooms are good at U of T.
Yeah, so at UBC, I would say the rooms are nowhere near as big, like, at all. I would say her room is probably a little bit bigger than even the double room, so that's like you and a roommate, and she still has a bigger room for just one person.
Yeah.
My room's probably around half, like less than half the size of hers.
Yeah.
And it's nowhere near as modern. It still looks a bit old. I have like a green door. the window
Yeah.
doesn't open fully, like none of them do. It's just a bit like
Yeah.
older, and it's not as nice and modern, and the
Mhm.
lighting's nowhere near as good, and her view is really nice, and mine's not
If you
that
want to
nice.
watch my moving vlog, you can go watch that.
But I have a friend, like, I'm in one of the older buildings in Totem, so my friend Paige and Tenniel, they live in, like, some of the newer buildings, and their rooms are a lot nicer, like, more modern and stuff, but still, like, hers is way bigger and nicer.
Yeah.
And then if you're in Orchard, I would say the rooms are a little bit nicer. They're, like, you have a lot, like, more light and, like, nicer views and a little bit more space, but the community isn't as good. And is that, like... I have to talk about res and stuff.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So this is what I heard before I was coming to UBC, and I think this is really good advice, whoever gave it to me. So if you're deciding between which of the 3 first-year residences you, like, want to get into, I would say that Totem has, like, the best community. Like, a lot of people that I knew before coming to the school all got into Totem, so, like, I feel like a lot of Totem people talk to each other a lot, and there's, like, a really good community here, and you make a lot of friends at Totem. And a lot of people talk to each other on their floor and at, like, the dining hall and stuff. At Orchard, it's a little bit more closed off. Like, you hear a lot of Orchard people saying they don't talk to a single person on their floor. Or they're like, oh, it's so weird that you talk to people on your floor. I never do that. And it's, like, they don't talk to each other a lot because they have single connected bathrooms. So no one, like, meets each other in the hallways. You're just in your room or out of your room, you know? And then Vanier is a little bit more, like, it's more old than Totem, I would say. And I've heard the community isn't as good as Totem. Like, you're giving up the nicer rooms for not that good of a community. Like, it's still way better than Orchard, but it's, like, not amazing. But Vanier, some people say has pretty good food. Like, they have a taco station and stuff. So
Tacos. Holy fuck.
people like that.
Okay, now moving on to lectures. So for my lectures, they range from, like, 1 to 3 hours. So I have 2 that are 1 hour long, and they're twice a week. I have one that's 2 hours long. I have 2 that are 2 hours long, and those are once a week. And then I have one that's 3 hours long, and that's also once a week. And I also have tutorials for 4 out of my 5 classes. So altogether, every class has, like, 3 hours of teaching per week, 3 hours of learning per week. So for social science, most people, the way that their schedule works, the way that they pick their classes, they'll either have, like, a full day off or 2 days off where they only have, like, 1 class a day. So for me, I have a day off on Friday. It just happened like that. Like, all my classes were either Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, or Thursday. I just have nothing on Friday. That's different for life sciences, because life sciences timetables are fucked, and also engineering timetables are so much heavier than mine. So if you're doing social science or humanities, your timetable is going to be pretty light. But, like, life science, engineering, all that stuff, your timetable is going to be pretty heavy. We also have bigger lectures in UBC, so they're less personal. We have, like, eye clickers for a lot of classes, which means in a lecture of, like, 1,300 kids, they obviously can't count attendance. So they make you get these eye clickers that you have to register through the system, and then they'll check when you go to class, basically.
So for our lectures, as Neha said, they're a lot smaller. I would say I'm just saying from my personal experience, I'm in art, so the class I take this year are anthropology, urban studies, urban forestry, poli-sci, and words 150. So I have, like, a lot smaller classes and a lot smaller lectures, and my discussion groups are pretty small as well, around 15 people. And we don't I don't have to use an eye clicker, and I don't know a lot of people that have to use it. Like, I don't think it's as common here as it is at UofT. And so my lectures, the ones, I'm just talking from my personal experience.
Yeah.
My lectures on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are all an hour long, and then Tuesday and Thursday are all 1.5 hours. So overall, you get 3 hours of each class each week. And then discussion sections are always on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, in my experience, because they're 1 hour long. So that's what the lectures are like for me. They're small, and that's the timing of them.
Yeah, so I think
and I don't really have days off, because it's, like, always, you either do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday and Thursday. Like, you can't just get Monday to Wednesday classes.
Yeah.
At least for first year, it's really difficult.
Yeah. So that's how that works. Okay, now we're going to talk about campus and, like, getting to class and stuff. So UofT campus is a lot smaller. I think it's 71 hectares versus UBC, which is over 400. So, and since it's downtown, you can even take the subway between classes if you want. It doesn't make any sense, but if you want to do it, you could. Also, Toronto gets colder in the winter, so getting to and from class is going to be harder because it's fucking cold and lots of snow. So it's good that the distances are shorter. There's also bikes that you can rent, and I'm pretty sure it's free for the first 30 minutes if you're just like taking them short distances or from one like metro or TTC stop to the next, like subway. U of T also has older architecture, and the residences are really close to everything, because if you look at a map of U of T, they kind of have all the classes in the middle, and then the residents are like up on the outside, and you have classes in the colleges as well, like classes in your residence. So if you happen to set it up like that, then that's great.
Yeah, so for UBC campus, as she said, it's a lot bigger, and I would say it's more green as well. Like, there's a lot more, like, gardens and parks and, like, trees, and it's a lot more spread out. It feels more like the suburbs, or it obviously feels more like the city, which makes sense. And I would say the whole getting to classes, it's a little far, but it doesn't, like, it doesn't weigh on you too much. Like, it's still only like for me, a 20-minute walk to my furthest class, and it kind of motivates me to do a little bit of exercise because I want to go to class.
What's your closest class versus your furthest class?
Furthest class is probably like 20-25 minutes, and then my closest one is like 10-minute walk.
Okay. See, my closest one is like 6-minute walk. My furthest is like 15-20 minutes max.
Yeah.
So that works really well.
Yeah, and also, as Vancouver doesn't get as cold, the walks aren't that bad in the winter. I'm guessing they won't be as bad in the winter, but I never know. And a lot of her campus, like in the reses and stuff, is underground. You can go, but you can't really do that at UBC.
Yeah. I mean, okay, that's only for my residents. They're kind of connected underground. One of the buildings is connected underground. Mine isn't. So there's not... I mean, Toronto has the biggest underground network. Like, the mall and stuff is all underground, but that's just the city. Campus is all connected underground.
Okay.
But it's cold as fuck, so everything's close together.
Yeah, and a lot of people here also get bikes.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that. The thing they say is get a cheap bike and a really good lock, because, like, bike theft is really big here. So just take that into consideration as well.
Yeah.
Because apparently, what I've heard, don't tell anyone, but all the people that ride the hoppers, which is like the rental bikes, look really fucking stupid. So I do, but like apparently I'm really fucking stupid, so don't do that. Get a bike if you want to actually bike to class every day.
Okay, so done with that?
Yes.
So now we're gonna talk about party life. So technically in my college you're not allowed to party in the rooms. So we don't party in the rooms, but in university college they don't really care, is what I've heard. People party all the time in this, like in the hallways, they don't give a fuck. So what we do is we mainly go to frat parties during like frosh week, and like that's basically the first week of before classes start. When you're a first year, they have parties every single night, and for the first month or so there's a party every weekend, at least 3 or 4 parties every weekend. Girls is always free if you're attractive, but if you're a guy you usually have to pay like $5 to $10, and this party the past weekend was $50 entry. So as they get busier, they just like, as it gets later in the year, they start charging more and they stop having parties. So right now the parties are kind of dwindling, but since the drinking age is 19, people don't really go clubbing at all. But since we're downtown, there's like a lot of stuff to do always.
Okay, so for us, I would say frat parties as well. If you're a first year, the main thing to do. During Jumpstart, there's a lot, and then, as she said as well, they slowly start to dwindle. But in my experience, if you make friends with, like, frat guys and, like, upper years, and you're a cool person to hang out with, they will invite you to, like, house parties and stuff as well. Because a lot of upper years have, because especially in Vancouver, since UBC's right near, like, a lot of suburbs, kind of, they have people rent houses instead of renting apartments. So they rent a house with, like, 5 of their friends. So they have a lot of house parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, yeah, house parties whenever the frats aren't having parties. And also in terms of partying in res, they have, like, if you come here, you'll always hear the 3 rules. The 3 aspects of a party are,
it's like basically
open alcohol, loud music, and more than 7 people. And at UBC, if you have 2, like at res, if you have 2 of those 3 elements, then it counts as a party and you can get written up. And obviously, if you get written up or in trouble too many times, you can get evicted. So technically, you're not supposed to do that in the room. But if you just like,
it's first year, no one really gives a fuck.
Yeah. And the one thing about UBC that they've always said is we don't penalize you for having alcohol. Like, even though the legal drinking age is 19 and you're 18, we won't say anything about you having alcohol. Just like, don't do drugs.
Yeah, basically also just don't be stupid. Like, if you know you get blackout drunk easily, just don't let your Don see, or don't let your RA see. Like,
yeah.
That's it. It's like using your common sense. Before you get there, you're going to be like, oh, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I can do that. Within 5 minutes of getting there, you'll know exactly what you can and can't do and what you can get away with. So, that was our video. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below and we will help answer them.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed.
Thanks.